The great John Lewis recalled an important lesson taught by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Quote, he said, each of us has a moral obligation to stand up, and speak out. Democracy is not a state, it is an act.
The Attorney General's commitment to voting rights fueled outrage from at least one elected official in the great state of Arizona. State Senator and self-proclaimed oath keeper Wendy Rogers had this response, quote, if Attorney General Merrick Garland thinks he has a right to our ballots and machines, he should go to court. If he uses force when multiple courts have already authorized this audit, he will be in violation of the law. Lawless thugs is all they will be. It's a lot. For more, we welcome back tonight Juanita Tolliver, veteran political strategist to progressive candidates and causes, and Tim Miller, contributor to The Bulwark and former comms director for Jeb Bush. Good evening, friends. Tim, I'd like to begin with you. The AG spoke in rather lofty terms on voting rights today, but then there's this from NPR in Arizona. Republicans from a growing number of states are traveling to Maricopa County in Arizona, everybody's doing it, to witness a controversial election review ordered by GOP leaders in the state Senate, a sign that similar probes may be sought elsewhere across the country. So, Tim, what is your understanding of what the dreadnought DOJ can do as this massive organization now beginning a process of vetting and hiring, 50 more lawyers, while Republicans are running around the surface of the country doing their darndest to restrict voting rights?
Yeah, it's going to be tough, Brian. I was encouraged by the speech today, but, all this stuff takes time. Look, government bureaucracy takes time. Staffing up takes time. And meanwhile, he's got to play this game of restricting voting rights whack-a-mole in not just Arizona, but Texas and a number of other places. I'm sure Michigan and Pennsylvania, et cetera, over the course of the next year. So, look, I think this is the hand that the Biden administration has been dealt. Hopefully, this was a signal from Garland today that the DOJ is going to be aggressive. Roberts, who has actually been pretty good as Chief Justice, his ruling gutting the Voting Rights Act is definitely a black mark, and that's going to make Garland's job harder because I don't think he doesn't have the standing that he would have had if it wasn't for that Supreme Court ruling. To take some of these challenges to court. The Texas law in particular would be one example of that. So, as I said, it's a big game of whack-a-mole, and they got to start hiring quick in order to fight it.
Juanita, you're in the thick of this, and a friend of mine said tonight that of all the members of the Biden cabinet, he was so surprised that it was Merrick Garland who is proving so controversial with the Democratic base. He is taciturn. He is deliberative, almost crippled by his desire to follow the rules. He said today Congress should pass voting rights legislation. Who's going to tell him about Joe Manchin?
Not only who's going to tell him about Joe Manchin, but who's going to tell him about an entire Republican Party that's committed to dismantling our democracy, one voter suppression law at a time, and not doing anything about it. And so when I appreciate about Garland saying today that, yes, they're taking this action, they're not going to wait for Congress to act, but there is very real barriers still in Congress about Manchin opposing the For the People Act and expressing support for the John Lewis Voting Rights Act. But still, that opposition to the For the People Act is a direct barrier to legislation that could remedy a lot of the voter suppression language that's included in these laws in states like Arizona, Georgia, Florida, and others. And so what I see here is, yes, it's great that the DOJ is being empowered to step up and kind of, as Tim mentioned, play this voter suppression whack-a-mole, but more is needed, especially as the 2020 midterms are coming up and voters are going to start to feel the tension and the reality that comes with these laws that essentially disenfranchise them and turn them off from voting and create barriers for them to vote. And so while this action from the DOJ is promising and is much needed support that we know progressive groups in the states who are already presenting granting court cases against these laws, it's only the start. There needs to be sweeping, systematic change to protect voters and protect voting rights in this country.